Hi friends, you are watching NewsX. Please watch and subscribe for more videos. Two-thirds of women in UK military report bullying and sexual abuse.
I'm talking about rape and the culture of silence in the West. Not too long ago, we told you about the rape culture in British schools, how girls were bullied into sharing intimate pictures, how they were groped, molested, sent explicit photos by male classmates. But most of these girls never spoke out because they were too ashamed to do so, or they were encouraged to be silent. Now, something similar is happening in the United Kingdom's military. And tonight we'll tell you about the toxic, sexualized and male-dominated culture in the UK's armed forces, and how most of these stories are drowning in the culture of silence. In March 2020, a lieutenant colonel named Diane Allen stepped down over alleged discrimination. She spoke about how a senior male officer had tried to force himself on her. She spoke to a British publication. This is what she said. I'm quoting from what she said. This chap had been quite persistent in the bar. I made my excuses. He followed me. He tried to physically block me from going into my room. I hit him with my elbow on the side of his head and went into the room while he was on the ground. He disappeared. I never reported it. This is just one story. The British Army has more than 112,000 regular and reserve soldiers. 16,500 of them are women. They make up around 11% of all staff. They also serve in combat roles. Women have been serving in the British military for over 100 years. The military maintains a strategy of no defense for abuse. Now, normally this would read as something good, except that it's not. Women in the British Army are battling emotional bullying, sexual harassment, physical assault, rape, gang rape, and casual sexism. A study published by BMJ Military Health Journal collected data from 750 women. They were all veterans, most of them above the age of 61. More than 22% of them said that they were sexually harassed. More than 5% sexually assaulted. More than 22% said that they were emotionally bullied. 3.3% said they had been physically assaulted. This abuse and harassment has scarred them. Women were found to be fatigued, in pain, at risk of alcohol difficulties. Those who were emotionally bullied suffered from anxiety, depression, and loneliness. Did they report the abuse? Well, most of them did not. Why? The study said women were afraid of the consequences, just like the young girls in schools were. In July, a British parliamentary report called out the country's military. It said the military had failed to protect its women. The report featured evidence of gang rape, contests for quote-unquote bagging the woman. The report said it had collected data from 4,106 women, both veterans and current personnel. 62% of these women had either been at the receiving end of unacceptable behavior or had been witness to it. Women spoke of gang rape, sex in exchange of promotion. They said contests were held to bag women both on camp and on ships. Women were also bullied for refusing sexual advances. They had to work with their rapists. Some women said overseas war zones were safer for them than the military accommodation. Let me repeat this. Overseas war zones were safer for women than their own military accommodation. Again, women did not complain about this. Well, those who did rated their experience as extremely poor. Reports talk about military seniors brushing cases of abuse under the carpet. Take a look at data from the UK government. Between 2015 and 2020, the average conviction for rape in regular courts is around 34%. In military courts, it is 16%, almost half. In 2019, for example, the military courts heard 57 cases of sexual assault. Only 17 were convicted. There were 15 rape cases. Again, only 3 resulted in conviction. These numbers tell a story, the story of rape culture in Britain. A recent survey conducted by UN Women found that 97% of women aged 18 to 24 in the UK had faced sexual harassment. This culture has penetrated schools and army camps, and the Parliament knows about it. Parliamentary reports say women have lost faith in the complaint system. The military also knows about it. But what are they doing about any of this? How can a country trust an army to protect them when it can't protect its own women personnel? How is a country supposed to trust lawmakers who are sitting on such appalling data and not really doing much about it? A woman soldier's biggest enemy today is her own camp, within her own ranks.
Hi friends, you are watching NewsX. Please watch and subscribe for more videos.